Darkness fills your life and pain supreme. When evil forces have deformed your dreams, it's time to open up your heart to let the light shine through. No matter how you look at it, you'll always know it's true.
Makes a big fuss. GameCube, Nintendo bless us. GameCube, it's all where easily surpass the rest. And when it comes to games, we'll always get the best. GameCube, Nintendo bless us. GameCube, it's all where easily surpass the rest. And when it comes to games, we'll always get the best.
It's time to open up, to let your heart decide what's true. This is the only start for me.
Tell my uncle, tell my aunt, I got my teeth in nice and straight. Chicken nuggets in my pants, I'm on my way to the Buckeye State. Ohio, round on the end, high in the middle. Ohio, Ohio, Ohio.
Left my home in Timbuktu with my banjo on my knee.
Look at me, I'm Sandra Dee.
On our way to Ohio, Ohio, Ohio. Round on the end, high in the middle. Here's the riddle, what's round on the end and high in the middle.
Oh yeah, it's Switzerland.
No, it's Ohio, Ohio.
Ohio. Up in Cincinnati, there's a gal named Clarabelle. If she knew I was on my way, I'm pretty sure she'd run like,
Hello, Cleveland. Hello, Toledo. Hello, Columbus.
Buongiorno, Bracca.
Ohio, Ohio. Round on the end, high in the middle. Here's the riddle, what's round on the end and high in the middle.
oh, I know this, it's...
No, it's Ohio, Ohio. Stupid dummy.
Listen and you'll hear the heartbeat of a universe teeming with force. See all the forms and the faces of nature taking its course. And feel all the wonderful motion flowing through things far and near. Nature will share her secrets when we are ready to hear. Energy, these are a few of your faces, glowing in timeless places, bringing our lives new graces. Energy, there is no living without you. We must keep learning about you. Now is the time to find how to. Energy, you are profound. You make the world go round and round. You make the world go round. You make the world go round. You make the world go round.
Thank you, Energy. Hello, everybody. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. It's Friday. We made it. Why aren't you watching the Resident Evil block on Games Done Quick? You fools. I kind of I might have it. I might have it just over in the second window just in case. Who knows? Who could say? Who could say these things? Who could say these things? I do hope you all are doing well. Yeah, you're all second screening me. I get it. I get it. Cubanono, thank you so much for the 60 stream streak. Hope you're doing well. Thank you to Akodo Games for following. They're playing Requiem. They're in the middle of a Requiem run right now, and then they're Resident Evil 3 Nemesis is after that. We're playing Elden Ring. No specific objectives today, just exploring, maybe see if we can... I kind of need to get my Estus Flask stronger. I need more than I need to heal more. I'm second screen... Oh, the travel log. Right. Haven't seen that yet. Catch me if you can. Catch me if you can. Alright. I'm gonna get to it. I wanted to stream late, and I'm going to. But I remembered I'm actually getting up really early tomorrow because of the Hallmark Christmas ornament premiere. Going to that. Hey, there's Chris. Hello, thank you so much, Chucktowski, for converting your sub to tier 1 sub. Your gifted or prime sub to tier 1. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Which also means it's now 19 months. Sending you an invoice for this, that's fair. Yeah, so tomorrow's the first day you can buy. So the Christmas ornaments usually go on sale, I think more like in September, I forget. They go on sale early, but not this early. But they will put them on sale like in a little this early for like a week. And tomorrow's the first day, and if you get there early, you get first pick, and there's some ones that are only on sale during this thing. And there's some good ones this year, guys. There's a PlayStation 1. It's a PlayStation 1 ornament. There's they brought back the classic Galileo shuttlecraft from Star Trek. That one, those two for sure. They need to look at what else. Those ornaments have always been expensive, to be fair. They are expensive, for sure. Where are these Hallmark? That Seamless co-op mod? That'd be fun someday. Alright, let's get everything set up here. Alright, 78 deaths right now. Guess we need him. Did that work? Did that make it 79? It sure did. How about that? That's a tough stream title. It's good, right? The Rocky reference, kind of. For all these texts. You're gonna hear my phone for a second. What is this? All right. So, I mean, we are eventually going to do this over there. I guess we can go to where this mission is. So there's stuff over here we haven't really explored. I feel like somewhere around here is where we meet Alexander for the first time. Haven't done that either. I can also maybe progress further in here now that I did the castle. I don't know. That's where the turtle pope is. Oh, this is probably one of the herd tree. This is one of the tree things. So I think if I go there, I will get something to make my flask better. Maybe we should do that first. Did you hear that Marvel Rivals 2 dropped? What? Adma has more ass? What are you talking about? What could they possibly do? Release more characters for that game? They already have a zillion characters. But they already have 2 MIDI characters. I assume you're joking. They did a big patch for the team-ups. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, the team-up system, it's a neat idea. It's kind of a strange thing because it is just, I mean, did they change? Because, like, it is just perks you get if certain characters are on the team, and then if you don't get those, then oh well. So to be optimal, I guess you need I don't know, it's kind of weird. Every hero now has 2 team-ups regardless of the hero being in the match. What is... I don't know if I quite follow that. So they get the team abilities even if the other hero's not in it anymore? Oh, that they nerf Captain America's penis. Yeah, interesting. Yes, I mean, it seems more balanced, I suppose, more fair. Yeah, what's this thing, too? I haven't gone to whatever that is. Let's go to the tree first. What's this weird little encampment? That was a briar of sin. Damaging item? Surprise. Don't go down that rod. You look big. Nice try, buddy. Monk's Flame Mace. That's neat. That's a dex weapon. Surprisingly, no magical damage. The hammer. Wonder if that's any good. This weapon has been so good, it's hard to switch off it. Was I proud of my Samus pun? I was. I was very pleased when it was read. I'm glad I stayed up. Fire spur me. Hell yeah. Oh, it's one of those things. They patch Elliot to where you can now mute the characters. Incredible. Jesus. Oh, I meant to hit more than one. I missed the Mr. Bones race. I didn't even know that happened. Shit. Fuck me, I'm a fake fan. I had a shield that looked like this thing when I played the first time. Oh, right, it's just like that guy in the back. Oh, I'm like getting way more hurt than I realized. Oh my god. Maybe just go for the kill. I blew it. Hey, Zero, thank you for 10 months. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Be a good weekend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I wonder if there's a campfire by Turtle Pope. You would think. Oh, who are you alerting, buddy? It's happening already. It's too late to alert. Hey, Crash Rendar. That's a good name. Thank you for 9 months. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, Resident Evil 2's gonna happen with the guitar controller. Hell yeah, I do want to. Yeah, I'm gonna be keeping an eye on that. There were some interesting things. I watched the Tetris finals. That was crazy. That Balatro run was real stressful but fun. Oh, yeah, there's one right there. Dan learned about charcoal. Oh no, I don't know if I can handle that. And it's I had a personal friend one time who like I can't use charcoal. That's coal's bad. That's coal's bad for you. It'll give me cancer. I'm like it's just wood. It's just wood. You'll be fine. Taste the meat, not the heat. No, charcoal, to be clear. Look, I didn't say it to Backlar when he talked about his grill, but I was disappointed it was a gas grill and not charcoal. I get it. You're cooking for people. You're cooking for family. Probably just want gas. I will never have a gas grill in my home. Yeah, you don't get the nice smoky flavor either. Shut your mouth. God, it's so fucking good. That new season's coming out real soon, huh? Oh, fuck me. I'm not gonna kill that guy before he gets back to life. Do the thing! Hey, duck. Yeah. I got a flask back for that. Honestly, the only grill you will ever need is like a simple Weber charcoal grill. You can do pretty much everything on that. Except maybe like a super huge volume. Oh, it's one of those things. That's for, What do you get in those? The respec thing or something, or I forget. I don't think I particularly need one. I'm a little high up. Or you get the thing where you can duplicate a Remembrance Soul. That's what it is, which, again, I don't think that's a huge concern. Are they going to have to keep attacking your corpse to keep you down when you die? Yes. Yeah, my spirit's going to keep trying to recoalesce. How will you smoke a brisket? You can, actually. A little harder with brisket, but you can smoke ribs and pork shoulder and Weber very easily. But you could. You just set your charcoals to one side. You put some either wood chips or a whole block of wood sort of over it, so that the heat is still indirect, and you'll get smoke going. There's even a snake method I used to do before. That was fun. Who knows how long? I mean, it might be faster, which is actually the problem. Not that it'd be slower, because you're probably, if you're gonna smoke with a charcoal grill, you're probably doing 250, maybe even 300. Whereas if you're doing like super serial smoking, right, you're probably gonna try to do more like 220. But you'll be fine. Well, how much health do you have, buddy? I didn't think you were this big a boy. Gotta really make these things fast. Sure. That was a setup for my burnt ends joke. I'm an idiot. Right. That burnt... Guys, that was so 2025. Come on now. No, I don't. Some free souls along the way. Free lamb. Oh, never mind, miss. I guess you live. What is this place? Ow! What the hell was that? Get out of here. Why am I going up? Why am I going up? Oh, you guys. First time I've seen you. Oh my god. Holy shit. Never mind. I'm leaving. Damn it. Alright. Oh my god. I'm gonna tell myself that the jumping's gonna help me dodge things. Hey, how's it going? Oop, right on your head. Where am I? Really? Man, I missed a path somewhere. Maybe not. But I need to kind of be... Well, this probably is up. Damn it. Alright, get me back to the crossroads. There's gotta be a path down and then to the right. What the hell? Where's this so-called path of yours, game? Guess it's just this. Oh, how do I get up there? Yeah, you see my dilemma. Yeah, so this was the dead end. Ah, god damn it! I'm gonna fucking die to these arrows, man. Guess we keep going this way and see if we can figure something out. How am I enjoying our No Summons run? Oh, it's been a lot of fun. Definitely been enjoying it. Pooch up there? No. No way. I'm not prepared to fight a giant bear. Man, it's right up there. Yeah, I got to go the long way. I need to find another campsite, too. Yeah, I'll do Shadow of the Erd Tree for sure. too many fun bosses in there not to. I mean, I'll probably do Consort Radahn as my last boss still. Oh, there's a church up there. I kind of remember that now. Right. Nope, yep, no summons whatsoever. Who is that? Are you a friend? There's no way you're a friend. Yep. Oh boy. How about that? Not too bad. Pronounce Raiden? Radahn? What'd I say? Woo. Consort Radahn. Did I say Radahn? Why did I say Radahn? Even I know it's not Radahn. I don't know. I don't know why I did that. Leave me alone. Well, ooh, this is actually, what, lighter? Is going to matter. It's not. It also looks cooler. I can't put this on yet, but I bet someday I will. Alright, we're going in here just because I assume there's going to be a campfire. Yep. I don't know if I really want to go through these catacombs right now. Not quite yet. I really would like to go to the tree first. Yeah, what is in this crypt? A summon? Because I won't be getting that. I mean, there's something good in this crypt that you think I should get right now, and you can let me know. What rep are you running right now? The, what's this thing called? It's famous. The Bloodhound's Fang. One of the people in the, that co-op thing was doing it. Tied to quest, a hidden boss behind a secret wall. Okay, so we'll come back here, but my concern is that I am pretty weak at the moment. I mean, my healing specifically is kind of weak. Alright, we climb these things up. Guys, I may have entered a new chapter of my theme park fandom, because I just bid on some auction items from a deceased Imagineer's lot auction. Nothing crazy, to be clear. Nothing crazy. Nothing even approaching a cubivore. I'm not going to tell you how much. I'm not going to tell you what items. I don't want you assholes sniping me. It's not even close to the Mike Tyson poster thing. Alright, so this is a dead end. I really do need to figure out how to get up there from here, I think. I mean, I did do this. Can I... I mean, it looks like that bridge is fucking out. I don't think that's going to work. There's rumors floating out around about Pokemon Winds and Waves. Like what? Oh, you. Alright. Ow. Probably should not be on my horse for this. Ah! Ah, die! Oh, I didn't actually rest at that campfire, did I, huh? That's fine. Damn it. Come on, bleed. there, not gonna lie. Alright, we need to actually rest at this bonfire now. Yeah, lit the bonfire. I gotta sit at bonfire, which I forget about quite often, not gonna lie. Much more of an MMO type game. 300 new Pokemon. Boy, those sound like the kind of like fan rumors that I don't know if I believe. Oh, this guy respawns. Now. Hey, that's not fair being a ghost. Oh, he got me. I mean, he's right there. We'll see again. You're sitting on a painting Tolkoto made? The penguin made a painting? Hell yeah. I need a painting for my son. I'll put it on my fridge. Let's try this again. I did much better against this guy when I didn't have a wild advantage. There we go. I like guy's shield. I'm not using those, but I bet this guy's got a lot of good stuff in general. Who knows, maybe someday we'll need a shield. 100 physical shield, that's great. Basically all you need. Mel Command, thank you so much for 5 months. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So these crypts look like they're more for helping people get down than up, unfortunately. Unless I'm missing something. To go to that tower, which I forget if I can even do that yet. I think I need something. I think I need something from Ronnie. That's why I think it's part of Ronnie's quest line. Even who knows? Seems like this should be something. Oh, the bear's back, right? Did I see this thing before? I have no memory of this statue. Okay. Neato. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about fighting the turtle thing yet. I think my presence has upset the turtle. Jesus. Yeah, I watched that one, man. That was awesome. It was fun. Here we go. Perfect. Okay, you guys seeing this Resident Evil 9 screen right now? They replaced Leon's motorcycle with some kind of a stationary horse toy. Incredible. Yeah, behold dog. Oh, it's Stonky from Shrek. That makes sense. There's 2 of these things? Jesus. What are you guys doing? I'm not here for you, turtle. There he is. Hello? No, stay. What did I get? I didn't know because I was fighting something. Did anyone see what I got? Gonna add the PG Chive song to your AFK rotation. No. Don't do that. Let's look at my inventory real quick. I don't think there's any of these things. Probably a crafting material of some kind. Alright. Boy, I need to take out these guys. Oh, there's a stake here at least. Right. Yes, we copied the fossils, which is not something I need to do yet. Oh, wait, Mike, don't be bad. Oh, bullshit. Bullshit. Oh my god. Bad. Oh my god, these guys are faster than I thought. Jeez. Oh, great. This will Am I really gonna try this with 2 freaking things? Probably. Well, they gave me some back. We got 4. Alright, we have a lot of souls. We'll get them back. We're not gonna die here. America steak was right there. I can't stand having those check marks littered on my map. Looks like I get the drop on this guy. Doing enough damage. Ow, he does a lot of damage too. Punish. Alright, there's some kind of magic stuff, right? Oh, damn. Surprisingly well, huh? Never mind, why do I say anything? Why do I say anything? Christ. The classic, alright. I need to run away from that. Yeah, at least there's a stake of America right here. It's what I get. What I get. These guys again. You're not dead? Jeez. Oh, I really wanted that to hit both of you. Oh, I thought that was gonna hit me in midair. Oh, please don't kill me. I cannot stress enough how much I don't want to be killed! Oh, why did I swing there? That was insane. I could have lost 7,000 souls for greed. Nomad, thank you so much for the stream streak. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Swings are pretty telegraphed, at least for the most part. Get out of there. There we go. Oh, right. Okay, that's a problem. Do I need to get on my horsey and run away, maybe? God, maybe I should just melt him there. Damn it. take your combos long enough, buddy. We're all very impressed. Oh, get out of here, steak. Oh, nice. Okay. That part went well, at least. Brother Christian, thank you so much for 13 months. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Boy. That's so early. My bad. Oh boy. That's really badly timed. Oh, I'm not dead. I'm going to die, though. Boy, I was so close. Way back when. That was sloppy. Yeah, Marvel Cosmic Invasion's fun. It's not, like, crazy or anything, but it's fun. I just gotta learn how to survive that one attack. He did it so early this time. Okay, I don't actually get an advantage from doing the snake attack. It's probably faster. It does just as much damage. God bless jump attacks. Think about it, we're just farming these guys. Oh, got lucky there. I was like, I need a heal so I get on my horse. I just don't know what to do with this. Yeah, I like the bleed build a lot. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of being... God, I'm just literally letting this one attack kill me every time. Yeah, come on. Figure these guys out. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's really bad. I'm stupid. What happened there, Mike? Bad start. We're fine now. It did help. Come on, stagger. There we go. There we go. I forget what the cracked tier stuff is. Do I get nothing from my flask from these assholes? I guess I forgot what they give. I did not get the dagger, no. Something's out there. I guess I'm glad I did that. I didn't get what I was hoping for. Need to find another tree. Oh, you're back? I thought I killed you last time. Respawn? Guess it must just restore my FP or something. I don't know. My FP flasks, something like that. South of the school, there's a tree. I think I got that one, actually. Maybe not, though. Let me take a look. Let's see, get past the angry turtle. Beginning of the school. God, how do I even get any further past here? Is there a way down? Those famous stairway thingies. Somewhere game. There we go. Oh boy, here we go. This is gonna go great. That one a bit far away. Oh my god. I don't like that. Jesus. Oh, that one seems really far away. Maybe I should just get on the one below me. Yeah. Do this. There's a lot of death spots there. Oh my god. I am not happy. Okay. We made it. We're good. We're good. Jeez. Alright. See, it was easy. The bell ringing. The turtle. Look at these turtles are around here. Jeez. Oh, there's one of these caves over there. That might be. Before we go down there, once over there, but that might be Smithing Stone Cave. Can you go through the school this way? I mean, I can't. Hey, Renala. Guess the post told for me. I hope not.
You.
What a...
It's hot to be without the right.
Without even the... Before the...
Oh, the lift.
Or to find...
I've gone through the Coward's Passage. It was fun. I think the whole Coward Passage name is just bad PR. Oh. Boy, I wish I touched that, Grace first. Okay, so I can just do this. Alright. Neat. Juan Gift, thank you so much for 41 months. Appreciate it. Sup, Mitch? I really need to do another playthrough of this. Other Souls-like, just don't do it. Like, from... I will say, I like Lies of P a lot. I love Lies of P. But yeah, this game is obviously fantastic. He must be able to level up. Oh, yeah. Then another level. I think this is probably better than Lies of P. I don't know if I'd say another level. All right. Maybe I never did get free from the school. Maybe it's like this little clearing here. Wants all this shit down here. I realize there's another one of these telescopes here. You think Lies of P jumped the shark with the difficulty? I enjoyed it still. I thought it was pretty fun. I enjoyed the difficulty. I like parrying a lot though. think it depends on how much you like parrying. So, like, maybe we should go to this forest and then west of that, see if we see anything real quick. Lies of P is alright. Doesn't touch any of the From games. What if, actually, it's better than more than a few of them? What if I like Lies of P more than Bloodborne and the Dark Souls trilogy? One second here. I just want to check something. I'm not thinking about Baldur's Gate 3 as much these days. You know what? You know what's better than Baldur's Gate 3? And I probably actually... yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, they don't like that. One thing at a time. Okay. Why is it B? There you go. Typing an angry skeet at Mike, right? I liked Lies of P a lot, alright? It was really fun. Pokemon Run is so nostalgic. It's hard to get... It's getting really hard to, like, squeak stuff into my top 100 now. That's for sure. Disney bias? I'm not... Just because I put it out on my top 100 doesn't mean I'm a hater of Baldur's Gate 3. It's a really good game. I got a typo for Donkey Kong 64. I liked Bloodborne, but I mean, look, I played Bloodborne Lies of P almost back to back. So I'm pretty confident in saying which one I personally enjoy more. Again, I like parrying a lot. Okay, thought the vibes were good, the music was neat, the world, like, I don't know. Lie is nowhere near as good. Which one? Which? Oh, you guys ready for me to play this shitty card? You guys ready to play this shitty card? Haven't played this one before. Who's the professional video game critic? I'm so sorry I did that. I am so sorry I did that. I am so sorry about that. Chuck is too, that's true. I almost threw a bitch in there. We have fun here. Right? Yeah. We're doing good. Video games. You guys saw me play Lies of P. It was peak, damn it. That shit ruled. Tolkoto kinda funny. You have to watch Starfield playthroughs to the end of your days. Lies of Peak, that's more like it. What's in the shack? Those bosses were so freaking good, man. Oh. Ooh, some prawns. Give me some crawdads. If there was a From Software title card in front of Lies of P, its Metacritic score would have gone up 10 points.
What are you looking at?
That's pretty good, buddy. Yeah, well, only one of them has Quixotic, damn it. You gotta stop! No! You can't make me, damn it! Look, Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna get knocked off eventually. I do really like it. What's this? Who's that? What is the Starfield of Soulsborne, Souls-like games? Oh, that one with the Monkey King. Yeah, if these guys are actually hard or not. Nope. The Surge. I want to play the Surge still. What are you guys protecting? Destiny, not Crystal Tier, eh? This crystal formation looks important. Maybe not. Is this a poison swamp? No, it's just dirty. Any plans on morning mist with bitch company? Oh yeah, we're gonna do Uru at some point here. There's been kind of there's just been some interruptions and other things. Uru takes a little bit figuring out. Oh, we got an outshot war from that. Yeah, it'll be happening. I don't know if we're gonna be starting even before the Mist Con at this point. Yeah, Uwu. Uwu with Uru. Hey! Demiurge64, thank you so much for following. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Oh, this looks like a nice place. This looks inviting. You met me at a convention. Wig caps. Where the hell am I? Are you alright, sir? A tree, but probably not the one we're looking for. Find things out there. Remember how Grub and Jan were gonna co-op Baldur's Gate 3, make me get a tattoo? Sure, any day now. Oh! That's neat. Crystal sword. Hey, yeah, look guys, if you want a Baldur's Gate 3 ally and Giant Bomb, I'm all you got, alright? How to get up there? Alright, well, Chuck also. Yes, Chuck also. But you weren't there for that Game of the Year discussion, is what I mean. Then beat him. Like, I did beat Baldur's Gate 3. How dare you? If it's like, yeah, sure, you can talk about a significant item. I may not go to it, but you can give me a heads up if it's something neat that I'm near. Oh, a larval tier. Maybe that was the significant item. Hey, Demiurge. Oh, thank you for the nice words. Yeah, this game's very good. I've played this before. Oh, are you an NPC enemy? What's going on here? What was that? Messages will probably lead me to it. Yeah. Oh, this shit in the village. There's a ton of them in this village, huh? Armament ahead. And behold, castle. I mean, no necessary item ahead. I mean, I got precious item ahead. I'm hearing game excellent. I got the crystal sword from over here. I don't know if there's anything else from the bridge. I wonder if I can go down the well. Light up. That's just that. Some things. I did it. Hi, me too, buddy. We're both heroes. Oh, God, did we meet at that live? That was the live game of the year, right? Yeah. Jeez. That's right. Yeah. Oh. Hey, you. Oh, I thought you might want to talk. Yeah, somebody in chat put it like I just like is that game a side quest or not? And that's kind of my question. What's going on here? The iron sickle. The dagger. With int properties.
Please no.
What?
Hear me.
Hello.
Haven't a clue. No secrets lie with me, not a one. Oh, please leave me be. Wait then. You're well. Oh, goodness me. I am Albus.
I've heard of Albus.
And Albinoric. We're finished. The curse mongers have destroyed everything. I beg you. You must keep it out of the
This is one of the medallions I need to not have to take the coward's path or whatever, huh? That's neat.
If you should meet the young Albinoric Latena, then please give it to her.
Okay.
A chosen land away. The medallion is it's only a quaint treasure, but for dear Latena. My legs will, alas.
Is he like dying right now? Right now? All right. Jesus, buddy. There's something down there. All right, let's go over there. Boy. God, what is going on down here? Night ahead? Oh. Didn't notice you. If for him to turn his back, then maybe we can backstab him to start this. There's some gnarly looking weapons. Is he coming at me? Is he like aggroed on me and I didn't notice? Yes, he is. Oh, he's got a boss health bar. That's one way to handle him. Oh, get out of here, dog. That went well. This dog's gonna give me more trouble. The Crucible Knot Talisman. What does that do? Boost damage and impact of headshots. That doesn't seem that useful. Yeah, it's probably supposed to come here first before some other things. Houseman. Okay, we'll go down that way in a moment. Not New Game Plus. Just New Game. Rune Arc. Why not? I was lied to, wasn't I? Alright, well, I guess we're just teleporting out of here. Alright. Still don't know if there's a tree around here. I certainly don't see one. Guess it could have been, like... still stuff over there. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth exploring. Might be better off to... It never even looked like here. Down there. Let's go run around over here a moment, just see. Since we may hit 100 deaths tonight, we take a shot off. I may not take a shot. My tummy's not feeling amazing right now. Honestly, I probably need to take my Crohn's medicine tonight. Probably can't do a shot. In the underground area. The caves here, yeah. There's that other cave network we gotta go to soon here. I probably should have leveled up there. Yeah, we'll find another one. We aren't gonna lose these. Why do I suck so much? Oh, God damn it. I got kicked! The fucking horse. Alright, guys. Alright, we're all very impressed. Jesus. I'm gonna try this again. Killing all the people so I can teleport back faster. Well, I got my medicine's an injection thing. It's a slow release one. I need to let it come to room temperature for a while. It's a whole thing. I'll do it after the stream. How dare you? I hate horns. That again. Driving D fan, thank you for 32 months. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's actually level up this time. I would like some more endurance. Maybe get health to 30, then I'll get endurance to 20. Dexterity's got to be at 40 at some point, probably. I never did any, like, the cheap soul grinds in this game that were floating around there. I don't know. That was not my thing. Kind of one thing I learned playing these games. It's, like, almost not that important. You can just kind of spend that time learning the boss fight that's giving you trouble a lot of times, and it's just as helpful. I don't think I ever went to the chicken farm now. You think everyone's doing that chicken thing, and I never went. You guys look like you're having fun. Can't help myself. Over there's where I got that boss. Fable, yeah, that's coming out next year now, right? What's that? Oh, I almost tried to just jump for that. Glad I didn't. That's not as close as it seems. What is going on? Well, that guy, those guys are dying just because they didn't jump. Which makes me think that if I did jump, I could make it. There we go. Not quite. That was both close and not close, you know? Also, that's enough runes. I need to go back there. Just close enough to make you want to try again. If I'd have to do this run back, maybe, but I don't know. Push the button. Oh, thank you. There it goes. What's this? This is where I got the Sword of Many Swords on it. I love that thing. Be a lot easier to help the archer. There was a chest here. I think I can open it here safely. Epi. Killing this guy. What if Grace Ashcroft was a mouse? I think they make Ashley a mouse, not Grace. Grace is more like Courage the Cowardly Dog. isn't that important. Alright, we do need to go get those souls. Guess I know we can kind of go down this way. Right way. This point might be faster to just... It must be faster to get to that Grace over there and then teleport back to the first one. Oh, we're gonna have to go... We can just run through this probably, right? And we're gonna try. Bridge of Sacrifice. I ain't sacrificing none. Oh, nice. Alright, yeah, there we go. Hang on. Wow, how big this map is, man. Alright. My souls are there, so I need to go wider around there. Chicken parm pizza style at the Cheesecake Factory. It's really good. It's a lot of food. Don't eat the whole thing. Take some home. It's good though. Free souls. Damn it, crab. Guess I got too close to the crab. That's what happens. Surprise. We have Culvers, not close to me, but they're around here. I haven't actually been to one, though, myself. I feel like I'm still somehow in the wrong spot. There you are. Yeah, honestly, if I was gonna do it anywhere, I feel like it would be here. Well, it's lower there is the thing. But also... I mean, why do I even want to be there? I can just... I don't need to do a jump. I'm already over there. What am I talking about? Alright. Do we explore some of this down here? Cross the Bridge of Sacrifice. Maybe that's good to do. Build this stuff. I just would like to find some flask upgrades. What else I need to do is go to the bathroom. Actually, everybody, I'll be right back. BRB. I'll let you hang at the grace site there for a moment. Alright. Yeah. Guess we should explore this place for a moment. What happened to you guys?
Hello? Might I bend your ear for a moment, please?
There's always a
My
blind
name is
lady in these
Irina.
games.
I've escaped from Castle Morn to the servants there. I can't be sure, but I swear I heard frightful howling from my good father. Sikri decided himself to stay. The servants are full of wrath. They've since come for everyone at the camp. I fear it's no different at Cathleys. Would you mind taking my soul wishes that he escape, please? Thank you. Then please, deliver it to my father, who...
I barely
Please.
remember this.
He can be stubborn.
So we're going to a castle. Just want to take care of the dogs first. He asking too much. You guys, as you were. Maps down here. Let's get that. Oh, and a grace. Where's this pointing down to? I don't remember. Maybe the Dawn Festival stuff is down here. I guess I don't really remember. Is the castle? Oh, that worked. Damn. Somebody's loud and angry down there. What the hell? There's the castle. Was that coming from the castle? Jesus. I forgot about that map almost immediately that I wanted to go get. We'll get that later. bigger rat up ahead. There's always a big cane. Whoa. Man, this weapon is pretty good, huh? Flame of Frenzy. What is this? This is exactly what I've been looking for. Okay, remember, these are churches. Oh, hell yeah. This is awesome. This is great. Fantastic. I'd like to just go get that map now. I think that's peace. How happy I might be done with GMM. I mean, look, it's good. It's great to do. It's a lot of work, and it was an interesting week, that's for sure. So yeah, I was a little relieved. I'm a little relieved. I'm not gonna lie. I really want to go down there. I think I'll die if I just jump. Did I get this, Grace? Nope. Hell yeah. That's huge. Going the wrong way. Let me just go here and go down the normal road to get there. Yeah, the ambient music's awesome. I guess I never talked to you, huh? Did tell you how much I want. Like someday I might want that stone. I guess I may as well buy this while I'm here. I think so too. I don't need that. You will. Ah! Right, the castle wants to kill me. That Commander Null place? Oh, it's just one of these big boys. I see. Well, I can take care of them. Me what? Beef and cheddar chips. I can't believe they leaked that. How dare they? They fix Grub's weak, they run out. No, that might ruin him. I'm sure somehow that it all makes perfect sense to him and works for him, and I don't want to be the one to ruin it. Alright, so these guys, as soon as you get under them, it's fine. Oh my god. How strong is this weapon? Was I supposed to go here first before the magic school or something? Jesus. An Arby's was out of roast beef. Also, you drove 200 miles. Stop. Not to go to an Arby's. You just stopped at one. I got you. Oh, this is another thing for millennia, right? The siege. Oh, this is another important thing. Okay. I'm so mad at myself. I was going to go to Arby's today and then just went to Subway automatically instead. So Laffy will get physical disc version. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's probably a next year game, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. What is this? Why is there, like, magic here? It seems scary. Alright, I guess we're gonna go through this castle. That'll be fun. Lion's Choice? What's Lion's Choice? Oh, look at this. There's another one of these. I should probably go visit that at some point. Let's see what this is about. Yeah, we'll go do this castle first. What's your go-to Subway? Or just baked chicken bacon ranch? Alright, do I have enough runes? If I use all my runes, I get to what I need to level up. Did just throw 2,000 worth away. Doubt it. It's like Arby's. I've never seen that. Must be. It's in Missouri. Interesting. Yeah, I've never seen that. We don't have that here. Granted, Arby's started where I am, so I don't think they would welcome similar ones. Geez, I have a lot of these I haven't used. Just organizing things by type, probably. I think that's enough for a level. Yeah, oh, just enough. Yeah. Are you a big fan of the 3 pepper sauce Arby's got rid of recently? I didn't know they got rid of it, and no. I'm getting Arby's sauce. I never got the 3 pepper sauce. So I'm afraid I'm not going to miss it. Yeah, definitely watching see a little bit of this guitar Resident Evil 3 run at GDQ. We definitely are going to have to do the Code Veronica soon. I am missing my Resident Evils as well. Then once I do that, I can do the 2 Revelation games. Then I'm all caught up on Resident Evil, I think. Except for 6. Yeah, 6. Which, someday. Death ahead. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of dead people. Alright, we found the castle. I vaguely remember this. Yeah, Cockroach is good. I didn't beat it, but I was enjoying it. No, nothing up there. What's going on here? What are these noises? What's happening over there? There's a big boy over there. Oh my god. How strong am I? Yeah, potato cakes were that was an important thing they brought back. Got souls for some reason. No, I never had a gyro from Arby's. I don't like the tzatziki sauce very much. I don't really like cucumber. Yeah, look at that. Weird place for campsite. boss ahead. Oh, that's cute. That's real fucking cute. Guess I can explore this way a little bit. I think I should just teleport back to that thing. Guess it didn't kill me, I guess. Surprisingly generous when you think about it. Oh, hello. I say these damage sponge things. Apparently I can't actually help you because you're a ghost. I'm not even fighting you. Alright, well, let me go look over here, then I'll go look at that. Let's see what's in this tower first. Thanks, buddy. I noticed. Final hit of chain attacks. Yeah, whatever. There's so many talisman in these games, and I feel like there's like 6 of them that are maybe good. I don't know. Probably more than that. Try a hole. I don't see a... Is there a hole up here? Why am I up here? Why did I do this? It is a tree. Some chiming. Oh. It's a weird place to put one of these. Like, why right here of all places do I need my flasks recharged? I'm just gonna teleport out of here anyways. Right? Well, I guess I can get on my horse and jump there. No, I can't. I guess I don't need the horse to make the jump, huh? Alrighty. Don't fall down the hole right away. This is an interesting path we have found ourselves on. Oh boy, one of these things. This is a FromSoft classic. Oh, that looks kind of far down. Jesus. Die. The whip. Oh, those are always good in these games, right? Everybody loves the whips. Man, where am I? Licorice whip. looks interesting over there. I guess we're going through that fog gate. I have no memory of this. Weak foe, okay. Too strong yet. Ah, this is my great sword. This was my main weapon for most of my first playthrough. Yeah, I thought this thing was neat. We made it to the southern tip of the world. You give me a lot of souls at least? Yeah, not that many. Alright, there was that like one path I missed earlier. Wonder if I found the guy's or the girl's father. I did knock his block off. Is it here? But the first one's like, oh, there's a boss fight ahead. Yeah. Just gotta make that jump. Or maybe this is just, they meant that boss fight I got to. 'Cause yeah, here I just ran instead of jumping. I mean, that might be... Well, this is just this room again. Maybe that's it. Although I never found that person's daughter. Or father. I don't know how important that is. Clearly, I think I kind of reached the end of the labyrinth here. Hey, where's that dude's father? He's on the roof. Alright, thank you. Let's just sort of get back to the start then. Sitting on a bench on the roof. Thank you. I'm not gonna fall. Doesn't mean I have to meet your father. I guess I haven't gone, like, up here. Let me go. Right now, stamina, though. I do think it's fair. I think I can officially say that rolling is more fun than blocking. I get why most people do that. Actually, there might not really. Here we go. What's this? Claymore. Classic. These are the sounds I heard from before. There's a ladder. Alright, you guys keep having fun. You're doing great. This is the part I was at before. Maybe not. Yeah, I've been here. Gotta look around a bit more carefully, I suppose. This part sucks. Maybe I go down here and over there. Get a coworker helps lose their shit because they took a bite of a muffin with an apple in it. I feel them. That's a terrible feeling. No one should have to go through that. Ah. Kind of always tell what the difficulty of an area is supposed to be based on the smithing stones you find there. Yes, this is where the campsite is. We don't want to go there yet. Whoa, thank you for the free souls. I already jumped down. Maybe I need to go back around and up. I don't know. You again. If I could apply smithing stones to make a game better, what would you use it on? Cubivore excluded. Cubivore's plenty good. It's good enough. I would have made Metroid Prime 4. I would have made Metroid Prime 4 better for sure. Alright. Gotta find this dude somewhere. One up there. He wasn't there. Looks like you guys won that fight. Well done. Oh, torch. Sure. The trip to New Orleans was awesome. I had a great time. Food was incredible. I mean, I've been down there, right? Yeah. Man, where have I not been? How much more roof can I get? Guess there's that part of the roof over there. Be, yeah, a little bit separate area, or cross there and then jump down there, perhaps. Torch timer increases. Oh, I forgot about that mechanic. Look, I get it with some of them. If you think Dark Souls 2 is better than Eliza P, that's wild. Come on. Come on. Aha. Really, some people think cereal milk is disgusting. I mean, I'll tell you what, when I used to eat cereal with milk, I used to drink the cereal milk. I didn't find it disgusting. It's just kind of what happens to the milk. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't going to put up a big fight about that one. He's got to be up here. There he is. Last place I look.
There's a face I've not seen before. I'm Edgar, warden of this castle, as ordained by Lord Godric himself. Now you can see how things... The menials have all rebelled. They gave me good service, or so I thought. Foul creatures, as it said. And true enough, I'm sorry to disobey. But whatever you come here to do, take this. By way. I see. Thank you. But I can't leave yet. Even if the castle should fall, as commander, I must remain to ensure the treasured sword of Morn does not fall into the wrong hands.
I already have that, I think.
I'm in your debt for keeping this. I'm no longer. Once I've rescued Irina, I will spend my remaining days with her.
Oh, one of these things. Yeah, let's go tell her we delivered her. It's weird it's still pointing this way, right? I've done everything down there. I guess maybe there's even more of the map down there that I forget about. I don't think I can get there yet. We do want to check out this tree. Let's go talk to her. She was like... She was pretty close to the start of this whole area, right? Yeah. What's wrong? Well, no. Dude, where is she? What happened here?
Irina, how could this be? My daughter deserved better. The fault lies with me.
How could a
I
bad
chose to
ending happen to a
my
character in this
daughter's
game?
safety. And that is how fate has answered. I'll find them. The foul wretches responsible for this. I'll hunt them down and exterminate every last one of them. Rest assured, Irina, it will be done. I'll find the foul wretches.
Yeah.
I'll hunt them down.
Well, that's rough, buddy. I need to cross this bridge to the west and go south. I didn't do it. I did everything that was asked of me. I was a good boy, damn it. And... Okay. just jump this? Seems pretty far down there. Do I go down there and then double back? Are you worried about eating too much sweat when you eat steak on the more rare side? Sweat? No. Dan Reichert? No. Yeah, that's what upsets me more than the milk thing. The blood thing. He won't believe me. Dan said blood and sweat yesterday? I missed where he said sweat. What the fuck did that mean? What the hell does he mean by sweat? What? What could that possibly mean? This is kind of an unnecessary grace. There's one right over there, but okay. I think he meant meat sweats. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Didn't want to be up there. If you ever had Cookie Crisp growing up, was anything more disappointing than trying it only to find out that it didn't taste like chocolate chip cookies? I don't know. I liked Cookie Crisp still. I kind of liked its crunchy approximation of chocolate chip cookies. I was into it. How do I get up there now? Back forward and then back. Both promising areas. Let's check this out first. Might be another cathedral, another upgrade for my flask or something. Yeah, Reese's Puffs here was actually always pretty good too. What is going on here? Boy, I think I was right. This is good news. Another sacred tear. Hell yeah. Perfect. Desperately needed these. Oh, Millennium wants to talk.
Spoken echoes
Melina.
linger here. Words of Queen Marika, who vanished long ago. If you wish, I will share them with you.
Okay.
Marika's own words. Then, after thy death, I will give back what I once claimed. Return to the lands between. Wage war.
Oh, he's talking to the
brandish
the guy.
Grow strong in the face of death.
Yeah, Godfrey.
Warriors of my lord, Lord Godfrey.
You don't have cereal in Argentina? I guess I didn't realize that could be regional. guess that occurred to me, like, some places don't eat cereal. Smoker's good. Is Smacks still a thing? I used to like Smacks when I was a kid. What do we have here? Alright. Let's we're exploring this. May as well, I have a few of these. Is this the katana tune? Because that'd be amazing. Yeah. Oh god, I literally jumped that thing. See that? Have you ever heard about fruit flavored cereals? Honestly, some of them are pretty good. The one I've never liked was Fruit Loops. I always thought Fruit Loops were gross. But I like Fruity Pebbles. Fruity Pebbles actually make some of the best Rice Krispie treats. Okay. The Grave Glowwort is for the spirit ashes, right? Which again, I don't really particularly need. That is one of the big reasons you go to mausoleums. I did not try the Mario Brothers Zelda's Combat cereal. I don't really remember it. I remember the cartoon. I don't remember that cereal. Because there was that first wave of Mario merchandise. I do remember having some kind of Mario shampoo when I was a kid. I don't think I'm making that up. I think that was a thing. Ah! Bad start, bad start, bad start, bad start. Oh. Am I alive? Oh my god. Never should have backed away from that when I got the bad start there. Back down. Oh, that thing that says thank you. Nice. Scimitar. Okay. Yeah. haven't typed in yet. Just want to remember there being a fake wall like this in one of these places. I feel like this is going back to the start. Alright, we're missing something. How do I get up there? Oh. I figured it out. Okay, here's the switch. I know where that somewhere is. Alright, blood loss. Alright, don't have to tell me twice. Ow! Rude. Rude, 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 rude. Ow, 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 ow. Bug! Rude bug. Bad bug. Oh. Ah! Oh, I'm not dead. Incredible. Alright. Well, at least he didn't have much health. Jeez. These edges do look all the same. Alright. That's fine. We still want to... I can just teleport here myself, then we go fight the tree. Then I guess we'll see what all this shenanigans is over there on the left. We got shenanigans. We can level up. Yeah, we're doing enough damage, that's for sure, so good health to 30. Well, yeah, Black Flag's selling really well. I mean, they are gonna absolutely just make more of those remakes. I still don't know why they had to lay anyone off. Here we go again. Oh, he saw me. So, oh, he's just moving. Ouch. Whoops. Run, horsey! Oh my god. Whoa. Good enough. I killed your tree god. Die. Join him in the afterlife. I don't think I can actually shortcut. There's something over there. Okay. Seems like it's so pretty high. Oh, Elpis. Alright, that surprisingly worked out pretty well. Oh, that's another one of these turtles. What though? I mean, they have quite a few Assassin's Creeds to remake. And by the time they do all of those, it'll be time to remake, like, Origins for sure, right? We'll do that. I don't care. If this... Containers... Oh guys, this is another church with another sacred tear or whatever. Yeah, Assassin's Creed Origins already almost 10 years old. They'll remake that game. And they'll remake Odyssey, and that'll be another huge one. Fourth Church of America. That's what I want. Hell yeah. Oh my god. My mission is really getting accomplished here. This is what I mostly wanted to do, was find these. But I have done it. So that part's nice. Go explore these ruins real quick. They might almost be... Is this another one of those, like, bosses? Try that. Huge. Honestly, doesn't need a remake. Well, what needs a remake? I mean, didn't Black Flag and Odyssey come out on the same consoles? You know, right? I know, like, Black Flag was cross-gen and all that. Alright, who's here? Don't do that. What are you doing? So hard. Dragon Scar Seal. How did you feel if Joshua Weissman came after Arby's? Oh, he came after Cheddar Bay Biscuits one time. It was the only video I ever saw, and it was so obnoxious I never watched anything else from him again. He was like, they taste like piss. Like, no, they don't. No, I'm not gonna, like, I don't need to defend Cheddar Bay Biscuits as some gourmet thing. But give me a fucking break. Oh, so yeah, what does piss taste like? What the hell are you talking about? Alright, you need... Oh no, don't go to me. Do you take fall damage, sir? Yes, good. Divine fortification. I see. Ah! Almost fell. Alright, let's see what's in these ruins, and then we're kind of done here. You heard nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, another cave. What the hell is this cave? So many caves. God, it's such a big game. You can stay up and watch the Final Fantasy Worthy Fan Fest keynote in 2 weeks? I don't know if I'm gonna stay up for it. Also, it's 2 weeks. It's gonna be close to Mysterium. Alright, where's my fucking... Okay, now the problem here is that I can't keep this out and attack with my sword. Need the lantern. Well, needs a strong word. See, it's already a little bit better here. Oh good, it's poison. See how much of a stomach I have for this shit. It's still going up. Right, let's see how far we can get then. Yeah, I know I'm poisoned. What the fuck is this? This is a boss fight? Got him. Well, that was weird. See? We just ran through it. What the hell is this medallion? Is it poison resistance? Max stamina. That's not bad. Yeah, that might be even better. Well, oh, I'll be down to heavy. Well, if not, if I have 2 of these, that's fun. There we go. I'll look cooler anyways. Nice. Would you want to live in Barad-dûr if Sauron moved out? No, that's not really my vibe. Yeah, it's also a lot of stairs. Yeah, Breath of the Wild's gonna be 10 years old next year. That's crazy. I'm still poisoned. Oh, look at. Oh, I never did go there, huh? There was a phrase here, right? Good night, Bucket. I can level up. I like the fun things on my shoulders there. That's neat. Look at that. Cool. I'm cool. What's your opinion on the Lahi song from Final Fantasy 14? I like it. I don't know if I was quite as obsessed with it as some people. It was funny when Soken sang it that one time, and he was like, do you guys know Lahi? I like that was fun. Hey, babe. Yeah. Yeah, my girlfriend didn't listen to me. Not that she didn't listen to me, I'm lying, but she took stairs where I would have waited for an elevator, and now her foot hurts, and I blame the stairs, personally. How was that? Get off the horse. You have a friend?
It will do no good, I swear it. And yet you persist. You frothing degenerates.
So excited for Ikaruga. Dude, stop moaning for a minute, I'll help you. It's just the same thing. Alright, I probably just have to come back here for a quest at some point, I don't know. I'm gonna kill you. Ow. Ooh, look at that. 3 for 1, Batman. I got their weird helmets. Neat. Oh, and their weird body armor. Gonna look like a freak. Alright. I don't think there's anything else there I'm too worried about now. I guess maybe, alright, what's in this pond? Let's look at that real quick while we're here. Where's my horse? Run! Hey. Don't you dare. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Oh boy. Oh boy, this is going so well. Oh, okay. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my god. Can I just get off the horse? Nah. There we go. Oh, Baba, yeah, for sure. Over Lahi, yeah, sorry. Ow. Stop that. Bad. does this ever, like, actually give me anything, or is it just always a trap? It's just always a trap. Devious. Gotta check with Akbar. Something's going on here. You all looking at that shining. Dragonflies, really? What is this about? I have no idea. I don't know. If this is important, let me know, but I don't know. Whatever it is, I thought I can do it right now. Hour of Return. Fancy name. Ever looked up the price of Pendragon Song and said, oh yeah, I know. Lucky I got it when it was just like $100. Oh yeah, that's the jewel of the collection. Everything's important, yeah. Alright, can I even level up anything? Alright, that was a fun little side quest to that southern area of the map. Whoa! Hey, what's happening here? Great enemy? I want to say that. I've seen better, personally. That one alright?
Ah, well then. What is it? The map indicates where it will lead you to Gura.
Well, I took you no matter it. Lay out your own.
Yes, somber. Smithings. Oh, I saw the torch equipped. That's probably why my... Was that above a medium load? Is the shit eater here yet? Not yet. I started pushing into this area. Let's go get the map. That's a bear. Yeah, more than one bear. Haha, you attack your friend bear. That's way too much damage to me. I'm doing DLC too. Yep. You gotta go fight Promised Consort. What the hell is that bear? Oh, he's just trying to get some honey or something. I'll leave you alone. The bear's gotta eat. This is just great. Ooh. Bees are buzzing in the trees. Maybe some honey just for me. Whoa, you're still following me? Jesus, bear. Hey, I was gonna let you go, you know. Ow, nice hit, actually. You just bleed already. Ow! The bear has a range attack? That's bullshit. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I like some Kojima. I like the Metal Gear Solid series quite a bit. I do. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, there Estes Flask around here. This thing. Maybe not. I guess that just indicates the minor Erd tree. Yeah. Those Sentinel though? Interesting. Oh. This is one of the downs. Under the sea. This was a point where you realize just how big the game was. It's just like this whole underground map. Like, what the hell is this video game? What are we talking about? It looks so cool down here, too. I don't want to go too far into here, but let's at least get a Grace site. You thought, like, oh, just a little underground area, and then just like, oh, this is huge, also. It's wild. Maybe we'll pug around a little bit. Ooh, golden runes. Bit tougher down here. I'd like to go up there. jump from above. I wonder if at this point I just fucking run. Too many assholes. Don't want to fight them all. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep, pretty sweet down here. You know, the first time I did this, I felt like I explored a good amount of the underground, and somehow I didn't find Moog or Mimic Tier. Thing right over there. Let's go past those gates real quick. Something to these. I kind of forget. What? Oh, we light these flames and then you can go in there and fight something. I don't know. I don't know how important it is. Right, yeah, I see when this is lit. There we got the map. Yeah, is this the magic deer? Yeah. Yeah, I had one of those Viking guys as my summon. It's just like somebody who's beefy and could tank a lot. That's really all I needed from it. But yeah, I only got Mimic Tier when I got the promised consort. I was like, alright, I think I finally need Mimic Tier. Alright. Yeah, we're not going to do all of this right now. Let's continue to... Let's see if we can get to this thing, see what that's about. What's the point of the area down there? Well, Moog is down here somewhere, so if you want to get to the DLC, you got to do that. Yeah, I've heard that Dan didn't know charcoal's wood. Pretty upsetting. It's pretty upsetting. Not that way. Then I don't know. I think it is mostly side stuff, yeah. I mean, that's kind of the beauty of this game, is that so much of it is quote-unquote optional.
Is anybody there?
Yeah, that's right. I was about to say.
Servant to the true order and celebrated repudiator of the false.
You had to kill Estelle for Ranny.
Well, that's no. Despite appearances, nobility is. You might have heard of me, Kenneth Height. Next in line is the rightful untouched.
Sure.
I want you to take back my fort. It lies to the south, beyond the Mistwood. A knight commander from Stormvale took it. A fool and plumb. What are you waiting for? My fort lies to the south. Oh, I see. Fret not. The celebrations will be lavish indeed upon the dawn of my fort's retrieval.
What's he talking about? What fort? I kind of did all this shit to the south. Thank you so much, Brogan, for 26 months. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope you have a great weekend. Oh, won't this guy be surprised? Got him. Oh, hell, God. Been drowning in these all of a sudden. Oh. Oh, we got our first wondrous physic. Yeah, I do have a few of these now. Alright. Oh, and then this. God, look at this. This is going great. This is going fantastic. Hell yeah. Alright, what do I want on my physic? Might just make a big healy one. Yeah, it's gonna be the 2 healy things. That's fine.
Spoken echoes of... Shall I share them? Very well, my lord, and thy warriors. I divest each of... With thine eyes dimmed, ye will be driven. Ye will wage war in a land afar. Well, perhaps that...
Alrighty, where is this gonna send us? Call them side ducks? Sure, sure, why not? Call them all sorts of things. Where the hell is this? Oh, I don't know if I want to be here yet. Oh, fuck me, that was a mistake. Well, I guess I'm committed now. Oh man, I am not built for this. Far enough away, I'm sure. Oh, there's a grace there. Let's do that. Oh, it's not a grace, but I'll take it. Come on, take it up. Guess I didn't need to get off of you. Do that. But yeah, that's good. That's something, huh? We'll take that. There we go. Coward! Coward has paid off pretty well, I'll say. There's a dragon, let's not fight him. Nice. Alright. Guess we gotta get into this shithole, huh? How do we even do that? Yeah, when I was up here, we could probably kind of climb up that. go up there. Then, see, those are usually more for getting down than getting up. What the hell? Let's just not. Well, what's going on? I mean, is it just a bear? You don't have to fight the bears. You guys have fun. Yeah, again, I think it's more for the other way. There we go. Whee! Alright. Another one right up there. Die. Never mind, you can live. And, yep. Just keep it going. Alright. Good, 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 good. So we'll head towards that tower. Seems important. Oh, let's check out these ruins first. Oh, another one of the boat enemies. We can take care of that. Teleport right away. That's bullshit. Oh my god. More Deathroot. Won't that guy who likes Deathroot be happy? Whoever he was, I kind of don't remember. What's this? Guess we should read the message. Hey. Oh. Yeah, always funny. It's always funny. Those aren't dogs, those are turtles. Come on, guys. Oh, these are pretty good, aren't they? Stamina recovery speed? Yeah. I think I like the ones I have, but pretty good. Well, actually, stamina recovery speed, is that better than max stamina? Probably is. Probably is. Oop, no, it's not because I'm at heavy load. Oh, another minor Erd tree. Alright, what are we gonna learn about here now? Yeah, there's an NPC here. if I recall. Yep. Eat this. Ow. Not nice. I'm not so impressed with that. Sacred Scorpion Charm. What is that? That don't impress me much. Yeah, you got the moves, but do you have the touch? Whoa, here she comes. That's good, that's good. Yeah, I remember this now. The roots of the tree are really more down here. Yeah, and there's that weird call. I think I actually fought... Yeah, I remember fighting this minor Erdtree thingy with my brothers. I remember farming these guys a lot for some reason. Maybe because I died a bunch of, like, bad back then. Probably got here too soon. Probably doing this like before I even did the church. I mean, this is cool. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright. And we made the Kaled. Oh, yeah, this one's a bit harder, huh? Oh, right. This one's got Scarlet Rot. Oh. Alright. Just, roll towards, not away, I think is what I'm seeing here. Oh, I dodged that. No, that one I missed. Twice, we're good. I'm learning. Alright. Okay, pretty good. Early on that one. Alright. Alright, there we go. Nick Offerman as the Dung Eater would be pretty good. I think he'll be like... I think he's gonna be more important than that. Alright, we did that really more for the, souls than anything else. Take them souls. Forgot about that. Where's that go? Yeah, it's not been a stream for hard bosses. Like I said, this is going to be doing some necessary exploration. Again, the important thing here was getting all of those tiers. Sometime this weekend, though, we should be able to do Radon. What's this about? Gargoyles. Great. So, alright, this time we can do this. Yep, we're doing everything with no summons. Including Radon. I know there's a lot of them. Oh boy. Can I do this without any kind of Scarlet Rot protection? I don't know. Scarlet Rot is just a bit scarier than poison. Does jumping help, or does that just make me look stupid? Alright, we're... okay. Die, crabs. Give me your treasures. It's another crab's treasure. Wow, thanks, Christian. How's this going? Okay, you trying to be sneaky? Man, that bleed almost got him. Alright, what's this? Neato. Heavy as all shit. Oh shit, this is the rot. Aerial butterfly. Oh. Why did I... Jesus. What the hell's wrong with me? Aeonian. Oh hey, I'm back. Alright, what's this way then? Oh, there's... up. There we go. Jesus. Okay, the levers are important. Somewhere a heavy door opened. Who knows where? Alright, we could have gone further into that rot section, so let's do that. Rest here, then we keep going. It's a bit of a problem. Maybe annoying, but at least they give very few souls. Oh my god, I'm like fucking stuck. Let's just go. Oh my god, just run. It's fine. Oh, here's a little reprieve. Oh, never mind, not that much of a reprieve. Let's run. Let's jump. Alright, this is where that door opened. Good. Let's just go fight the thing. Whatever it is. Oh god, this is a two-person fight. Alright, let's get the mage first then. Hey, got some decent health. Oh my god. Ow, that's gonna hurt. Yeah. That's a problem. He stopped. Oh my god. What the hell is that? Shit. Roll, roll, roll. Damn it. Ow! Jesus. Heal. It's not gonna be enough. Oh, I got the psychic also. Oh boy. Oh, that was lucky. This is not easy. Ow. This one killed this one. I'm getting stupid. Got really greedy there. Hopefully it's a Steak America so I don't have to run through the rod again. Yep. We're learning. I will not lose my souls. I will get those immediately. It is a lot of them. Bad start. Every time. I'm dead. Yep. Bet we're not going to get anything too good from this, but oh well. Can go anywhere. my god, will you guys give me a moment? Oh my god, I cannot get this timing figured out. Jesus. Stop. I am just constantly healing. I thought that was. Oh my god. Fucking cats, man. Actually. Psychics, though. Speaking of. Oh my god, what was that? You're doing new shit? That's not fair. Oh, cool. Ashes I can't use. Alright. Goody, goody, goody. Hey, yeah, yeah. Oh, I mean, they're on the site. That's no fun. Come on. Gotta go to the place. Gotta hang out with all the old ladies. It always is a bunch of old ladies and then me and Chris. It's fun. Alright. Let's level up. Let's call it for tonight. I do have to actually get up relatively soon for that. Let's go. Let's get dexterity up now. Let's get to 40. Next goal. No, we're all very cordial with the old ladies. Come on now. Oh, we're level 50. How about that? We'll be streaming at some point this weekend for sure. Might have some stuff going on tomorrow, but if not tomorrow, then Sunday. Maybe we didn't get the 100 deaths yet. There you go. Alrighty. Thanks for hanging out tonight, everybody. Looks like we'll just be raiding games done quick. Doing Dying Light. Be so sad to them. Hope you have a good evening. Have a good weekend if I don't see you. Thanks for hanging out. And I will see ya later. Bye-bye. Woo.